We tell stories of human. Way, not with artificial voices or AI slop. In the end, what's HFI without? Humanity? Subscribe to keep it this way. My name is Amir Sohal. Let's begin.
The world was silent. No explosions. No sirens. No fighter jets in the sky. Only a strange, heavy silence covered the earth. Above the planet, hundreds of massive alien ships floated like dark shadows. In some places, they blocked the sun. Each ship was so large it looked like a moving city. People looked up, but no one screamed. No one ran. It felt like the whole world already knew what was coming. Inside the largest alien ship, Commander Reth stood in front of a wide glass screen. His cold eyes watched the blue planet below. "This is Earth," one of his officers said. "Population, 8 billion. Emotional species. Known for conflict." Reth did not reply. He was confused. "Where is their defense?" he asked. The officer checked again. No missile activity. No shields. No military movement. Reth slowly narrowed his eyes. That is not possible. For years, their empire had studied humans. Humans fought all the time, over land, power, ideas. They never gave up easily. But now, when a real enemy arrived, they were doing nothing. Suddenly, a signal appeared. "Commander, we are receiving a global message from Earth." "Show it." The screen changed. A human face appeared. An old man. Tired eyes but calm. "My name is Elias Ward," he said slowly. "I speak for humanity." Reth leaned forward slightly. The man took a breath. "We surrender." The room went completely quiet. Even the alien officers looked at each other. No one expected this. The man continued, "We will not fight. We will not resist. We give you full control of our planet, our systems, and our people." Reth felt something strange. This was too easy. "This is a trick," one officer said. Another shook his head. "Scans show no hidden weapons. No defense activity." On the screen, Elias Ward spoke again. "All governments have agreed. Our military has been ordered to stand down." The transmission ended. Silence stayed in the room. Reth looked at Earth again. "No war," he said quietly. Then he turned. "Send scouts. I want full scans of every major city." "Yes, Commander." Hours later, alien drones entered Earth's atmosphere. They moved over cities, oceans, mountains. They expected panic. They expected chaos. But what they saw was normal life. People were walking. Cars moved on roads. Children were playing. Shops were open. No riots. No fear. It was not panic. It was something else. Inside one drone, a pilot reported, "Commander, humans are calm. No resistance." "Calm?" Reth repeated. "Yes. Military bases are empty. Weapons are being shut down." Reth felt uneasy. "This is wrong," he said softly. Deep underground, far from the eyes of aliens, a hidden control room was active. Dim lights. Silent screens. A group of humans sat there. They were not part of the public government. They were something secret. At the center stood Dr. Leanne Carter. She watched the alien ships through hidden systems. "They accepted it," a young man said. "They believe we surrendered." Dr. Carter stayed calm. "Of course they do," she said. "That was the plan." Another man looked worried. "What if they skin deeper? What if they find everything?" "They won't," she said quietly. "Not yet." She turned to the main screen. Phase 1 is complete. In space, Commander Reth received the final scan report. "All data confirms," the officer said. "No hidden fleets. No resistance. Humanity has surrendered." Reth stood still. This should feel like victory. No battle. No losses. The easiest conquest ever. But something felt wrong. "Prepare landing units," he ordered. "We take control." Huge alien ships began to descend. Slowly, like falling mountains. Cities watched as these giants came down. People stood still, waiting. Alien soldiers stepped onto Earth. Their armor was advanced. Their weapons powerful. But they did not need to use them. Because no one fought back. A human officer walked forward with empty hands. "We will guide you," he said. The aliens looked at each other. "Why are they helping us?" one soldier asked. "No idea," another replied. Days passed. Aliens took control of Earth systems. Governments. Military bases. Communication centers. Everywhere they went, humans cooperated. Passwords were given. Systems unlocked. Weapons shut down. Too easy. Inside the command ship, Reth watched everything. "This is not victory," he said. An officer looked confused. Commander, this feels wrong. On Earth, Dr. Carter watched the same events. They are inside every major system now, the young man said. Good, she replied. Should we start phase 2? Dr. Carter shook her head. Not yet. Why? She looked at the screen. Because they still think they are in control. That night, something changed. One alien ship reported a problem. Commander, small navigation error detected. Fix it. We are trying. System is not responding correctly. Reth frowned. Then another report came. Communication delay in Sector 3. Then another. Energy fluctuation in Ship 7. Reth's voice became sharp. What is happening? No attack detected, an officer said. No hacking signals. Reth slowly turned back to Earth. The same peaceful planet. The same silent cities. The same calm humans. But now, that calm felt different. Not natural. Planned. Deep underground, Dr. Carter spoke quietly. Now, everyone looked at her. Phase 2 begins. Hidden systems started to wake up. Systems aliens never saw. Systems never connected to main networks. Systems never surrendered. In space, Commander Reth received a new report. Commander, we found something. What? We did a deep scan of Earth systems. And, the officer paused. What we control is not everything. Reth turned slowly. Explain. It's only a part. Reth's eyes sharpened. How much did they hide? The officer checked again, then answered softly. Most of it. Reth stepped closer to the screen. Earth looked peaceful. Still. Silent. But now he understood something dangerous. Humans did not surrender because they were weak. They surrendered because they were ready. Far below, in hidden bunkers, human systems fully activated. Quietly. Waiting. And for the first time since the invasion began, Commander Reth felt something new. Doubt. The war was not over. It had just started. The silence did not break. It changed. Commander Reth stood still, staring at Earth. The same blue planet, the same quiet cities, but now everything felt different. Before, the silence looked like fear. Now it felt like control. Run another scan, Reth ordered. We already did, Commander, the officer replied. All systems show stable human activity. Not that, Reth said coldly. Scan for absence. The officer hesitated. Absence. Reth's voice dropped. Yes. What is missing? On Earth, the aliens moved deeper into control. They entered data centers, satellites, defense networks. Humans gave them everything. Codes. Access. Authority. But something strange kept happening. The systems worked, but not fully. Small delays. Minor errors. Nothing serious. But constant. Like a machine that was alive, but not obeying. Inside one alien control station, a technician spoke with confusion. Commander, we have full access to human internet systems. Good. But it feels incomplete. What do you mean? The technician turned the screen. There is too little data. Reth stepped closer. That is impossible. Humans generate massive data. The technician nodded slowly. Yes, but we are only seeing surface activity. Reth's eyes narrowed. Dig deeper. Hours later, the result came. Commander, there are gaps. What kind of gaps? Entire sections of data missing. Deleted. No, the technician said. Never existed in this system. Reth felt it again. That same quiet warning inside his mind. They did not delete their systems, he whispered. They moved them. Deep underground, Dr. Lien Carter watched the alien confusion. They're starting to notice, the young man said. Of course they are, she replied calmly. Should we slow down? Dr. Carter shook her head. No. Let them see a little. Why? She looked at him. Because fear grows best in small pieces. Above Earth, alien ships continued their operations. But now more errors appeared. Navigation systems showed wrong positions. Time signals delayed. Internal maps slightly incorrect. Nothing big, but enough to create doubt. In one ship, an officer shouted, Our star map is off by 0.3 degrees. That is nothing, another said. No, it is not, the officer replied. It changed without input. Reth watched all reports carefully. Patterns. He needed patterns. Show me all system errors from the last 12 hours, he ordered. The data filled the screen. Small glitches. Random places. No clear connection. But Reth noticed something. They are increasing, he said. Yes, Commander. And spreading. The officer nodded slowly. Reth crossed his arms. This is not damage, he said. This is design. On Earth, people continued their daily lives. But something had changed. They were quieter, more focused. They followed alien orders, but without emotion. No anger, no fear, no resistance, just calm behavior. Too calm. In a city center, an alien patrol watched humans. They do not look defeated, one soldier said. They obey, another replied. Yes, but they do not accept. The first soldier paused. What is the difference? The second one looked at the crowd. Acceptance has emotion. This has none. Back in orbit, Reth called for a full planetary scan. Scan underground layers, he ordered. Commander, human cities are dense. Underground scans are limited. Do it anyway. The scan began. Deep layers of Earth were mapped slowly. At first, everything looked normal. Rock, water, old tunnels. Then, Commander, we found something. Reth stepped forward. What is it? Large empty zones below major cities. Empty. Yes, no data. No signals. Reth's voice became sharp. That is not empty. That is hidden. Dr. Carter saw the scan results. They found the shadows, the young man said. Yes, she replied. Should we shut them down? Dr. Carter shook her head. No. Why not? Because they still don't understand what they are looking at. Back on the alien ship, tension grew. Commander, these underground zones, they are too perfect. Explain. They are shaped. Organized. Not natural. Reth's eyes darkened. How deep? Very deep. Beyond our current skin limit. Reth turned slowly toward Earth again. For the first time, he did not see a peaceful planet. He saw a mask. Suddenly, another alert appeared. Commander, major system failure in Ship 12. What? Energy core fluctuation. Systems shutting down. Reth's voice rose. Stabilize it. We are trying. Lights flickered in the control room. Then, the alert stopped. Status. The officer looked confused. It fixed itself. Reth froze. Fixed itself. Yes, Commander. No input. No repair. Reth felt something cold in his mind. They are testing us. On Earth, Dr. Carter watched the event. Test successful, a technician said. Dr. Carter nodded slightly. Good. The young man looked shocked. You shut down an alien ship for a test? Only for a moment, she said calmly. They needed to feel it. Reth called an emergency meeting. All commanders report. Faces appeared across the screen. System errors are increasing, one said. Navigation issues spreading, another added. Energy fluctuations confirmed, a third said. Reth listened. Then he spoke. This is not random. Silence followed. This is control. One commander disagreed. Humans surrendered. They have no systems left. Reth looked directly at him. Then explain this. No one answered. Reth walked slowly. Thinking. Calculating. They gave us access too easily, he said. They removed something. Something important. On Earth, Dr. Carter finally stood up. It is time, she said. Time for what? The young man asked. She looked at the screen. Time to let them know, we are still here. Across the planet, something invisible activated. Hidden signals. Silent connections. Networks that never touched the surface systems. Back in orbit, every alien screen flickered for a second. Just 1 second. But enough. A message appeared. No source. No trace. Only words. Reth stared at the screen, reading slowly. You are not in control. The message disappeared. Just like that. Silence returned. No one spoke. No one moved. One officer finally whispered, Commander. Reth did not respond. His eyes were locked on Earth. They are talking to us, the officer said. Reth finally spoke. No. His voice was calm but heavy. They are warning us. Far below, in the darkness, Dr. Carter watched the same message disappear. They saw it, the young man said. Yes. And now? Dr. Carter took a slow breath. Now they will start to panic. Back in orbit, Reth closed his eyes for a moment. Thinking. For the first time, the situation was clear. This was not a surrender. This was not a victory. This was a trap. He opened his eyes again. Cold. Focused. All units, he said slowly. Prepare for resistance. An officer hesitated. But Commander, there is no human army. Reth looked at him. This time, There was no doubt in his voice. You are wrong. He turned back to the planet. Their army is already here. Commander Reth did not sleep. He did not rest. For the first time in his long career, he did not trust what he saw. Earth was below him, silent, still obedient. But now he knew the truth. That silence was not weakness. It was waiting. All units remain on high alert, Reth ordered. Inside every alien ship, tension spread. Weapons were activated. Defense systems powered up. For the first time since arrival, they prepared for war. But the strange thing was, there was still no enemy. On Earth, the cities looked normal. Lights were on. People moved as usual. No riots. No chaos. Just quiet life. Inside the hidden underground network, Dr. Lien Carter stood in front of a large screen. Multiple signals moved across it like a living web. Status, she asked. All systems ready, a technician replied. Hidden network stable. Signal control at 92%. Dr. Carter nodded. Good. The young man beside her looked nervous. They know now, he said. We showed them the message. Yes, she replied. And now they're afraid. He swallowed. And us? Dr. Carter looked at him. We've been afraid for a long time. Then she turned back to the screen. Now it's their turn. In orbit, a sudden alert flashed. Commander. Multiple ships reporting system lag. Reth turned instantly. How many? 7 ships, no, 10. What kind of lag? Delayed response, controls not syncing. Reth's voice became sharp. Switch to manual control. We are trying. Inside one alien ship, a pilot moved his hands quickly. The controls responded slowly. Too slowly. What is wrong with this system? He shouted. The ship drifted slightly off position. Another ship came too close. Watch your distance, someone yelled. I am trying. Back in the command ship. Commander, formation is breaking. Reth watched the screen. Ships were moving out of sync. Tiny movements. But dangerous. This is coordinated, he said. Suddenly, all across Earth, the lights went out. Cities fell into darkness. One by one. Street lights. Buildings. Entire regions. Black. From space, Earth changed. The bright, glowing planet became dark. Silent. Cold. Commander, an officer whispered. What just happened? Reth stared at the screen. No, this was not a power failure. This was a choice. On Earth, people stopped. Cars slowed down. Shops closed. Everything paused. Not in panic. In control. Deep underground, Dr. Carter watched the darkness spread. Global blackout complete, a technician said. Alien systems? Connected systems unstable. Dr. Carter took a slow breath. Good. Back in orbit. Commander, we lost visual data from surface. Thermal. Limited. Communication. Interference detected. Reth's jaw tightened. They cut the network. Another officer spoke quickly. Our systems were connected to theirs partially. And now? Reth asked. They are pulling us with them. Reth realized it instantly. We are not losing power. They are taking it back. Inside alien ships, panic began to grow. What is happening? Why are systems failing? I cannot access navigation. Communications are breaking. Voices overlapped. Fear spread. And then, a sound. A signal. Every alien screen turned black. Then one line appeared. Stay still. No source. No signal trace. No origin. Reth stared at the message. His officers looked at him. What do we do? One asked. Reth did not answer immediately, because for the first time, he did not know. On Earth, in the darkness, something moved. Hidden doors opened. Deep underground bases activated. Silent machines came to life. Ships. Not like alien ships. Not clean. Not perfect. But powerful. Different. Human ships. Old designs. New upgrades. Strange combinations. Unpredictable. Inside one base, a human pilot smiled slightly. Finally, he said. Back in orbit. Sensors detected movement. Commander. Objects rising from surface. Reth turned sharply. Identify. They are not in our database. How many? The officer hesitated. Too many. From the dark side of Earth. Lights appeared. Small at first. Then more. Then hundreds. They moved upward. Fast. Human ships broke through the clouds. Straight into space. Alien ships tried to lock targets. Targeting systems not responding. Manual aim. They are moving too fast. The human ships did not fly in formation. They moved randomly, unpredictably. No pattern. No logic. Reth watched carefully. They are not following rules, he said. One alien officer shouted, "Incoming attack!" A human ship flew close. Too close. Then disappeared from sensors. Where did it go? Seconds later, an alien ship behind them exploded. Silence. Then chaos. They are using blind spots. How do they know our systems? They are inside our system. Reth's eyes widened. They studied us. Another explosion. Then another. Alien ships tried to respond. But every move was delayed. Every system slightly off. Enough to fail. Inside the command ship. "Commander, we are losing ships." Reth's voice became cold. "Regroup. Defensive pattern." But even as he gave orders, he knew. This was not a battle. This was control. On Earth, Dr. Carter watched the fight. Calm. Focused. Phase 3 active, the technician said. All units engaged. The young man looked at the screen. Human ships moved like chaos. Alien ships struggled. "We are winning," he said slowly. Dr. Carter shook her head. "No." He looked confused. "No." She pointed at the screen. "This is not winning." Another alien ship exploded. "This is balance." Back in space, Reth stood still, watching, learning. Humans did not fight like any species he had seen. They made mistakes. They moved randomly. They broke patterns. And that made them impossible to predict. "We cannot calculate their strategy," an officer said. Reth replied quietly. "Because it is not a strategy." He looked at Earth again. Dark. Silent. Alive. It is instinct. Another message appeared on all screens. This time longer. "You wanted control." A pause. "Now you have none." The message disappeared. Reth closed his eyes for a moment. He understood now. The surrender. The silence. The glitches. The blackout. All steps. All planned. Humans did not lose. They invited the enemy inside. And then, they closed the door. Reth opened his eyes again. For the first time, there was no confusion. Only truth. "We are inside their trap," he said. No one argued. Because now, everyone could see it. Above the dark earth, the battle continued. But the outcome was already changing. Fire. The battle did not slow down. It changed direction. Above Earth, alien ships were no longer advancing. They were retreating. But even retreat had become difficult. Navigation systems were unstable. Communication was broken. Formation was gone. For the first time in their long history, the alien empire was losing control. Commander Reth stood in silence. Around him, alarms kept sounding. "Commander, Ship 9 destroyed. Signal loss in Sector 4. We cannot maintain formation." Voices filled the room. Fear was no longer hidden. It was everywhere. Reth raised his hand. "Enough." The room went quiet. His voice was calm. Too calm. "Open all channels." An officer hesitated. "Commander, do it." Across space, a signal spread. A wide broadcast, sent directly toward Earth. "This is Commander Reth of the High Fleet," he said. His voice echoed across every human system. "We request communication." For a moment, nothing happened. Then, every screen on every alien ship flickered. A human face appeared. Not old. Not weak. Calm. Focused. Dr. Lien Carter. Reth looked at her carefully. "So, you finally show yourself." Dr. Carter did not smile. "We never hid." Reth's eyes narrowed. "You surrendered." She shook her head slowly. "No." A short pause. "We invited you." Silence filled the command room. Reth took a step forward. "You planned this." "Yes." "You gave us access to your planet." "Yes." "You let us believe we had control." "Yes." Each answer was simple. Clear. Cold. Reth felt something strange. Not anger. Not fear. Respect. "You sacrificed your own systems," he said. Dr. Carter nodded. "We disconnected them. You allowed us to enter your world." "We guided you," she corrected. Reth looked at the dark earth behind her image. Why? Dr. Carter took a breath. Then she answered. Because you were stronger. Reth did not expect that. You had better ships, better weapons, better reach, she continued. If we fought you directly, we would lose. Reth said nothing. So instead, she said softly, we changed the battlefield. The room stayed silent. Reth understood now. Fully. You made us depend on your systems. Yes. And then you took them away. Yes. You broke our structure. Yes. Reth closed his eyes for a second. When did you start planning this? He asked. Dr. Carter looked at him. The day we knew you were coming. A long silence followed. Behind Reth, more alerts appeared. More ships lost. More systems failing. We can still fight, one alien officer whispered. Reth heard him, but he did not respond. Because he knew the truth. This was no longer a fight they could win. You don't want to destroy us, Reth said slowly. Dr. Carter looked at him. No. Then what do you want? She answered without hesitation. We want you to understand. Reth frowned slightly. Understand what? Dr. Carter's voice became stronger. That power is not control. A pause. And control is not victory. Reth looked around his command room. His fleet was breaking. His systems failing. His soldiers confused. And below him, a planet that looked weak, had turned everything upside down. You used your weakness, he said slowly. Dr. Carter shook her head. No. She leaned slightly closer. We used your certainty. Reth felt that. Deep. You believed we would fight, she said. You believed we would resist. You believed we would act like you expected. A small pause. And that is why you lost. Silence. Heavy. Complete. Behind Dr. Carter, new signals appeared. Human ships everywhere, surrounding the remaining alien fleet. Not attacking, just waiting. Reth noticed that. You stopped your attack, he said. Yes. Why? Dr. Carter answered calmly. Because the lesson is already complete. Reth looked at her. You could destroy us. Yes. But you won't. No. Another silence. Reth slowly turned his head, looking at his fleet. Broken. Outnumbered. Trapped. Then back at Earth. You trapped us, he said. Dr. Carter nodded. Yes. And now you will let us go? Yes. Reth's eyes sharpened. That makes no sense. Dr. Carter's expression did not change. It does. She took a breath. You came here to conquer. Yes. Now you will leave. A pause. And remember. Reth understood. This was not just a victory. It was a message. To every species. To every empire. Humanity was not the strongest. But it was not the weakest either. We will not forget this, Reth said. Dr. Carter nodded. That is the point. A long silence followed. Then Reth gave the order. All ships. He paused. Prepare to withdraw. No one argued. Because now, they all understood. The alien fleet slowly moved away from Earth. Damaged. Silent. Changed. Human ships did not follow. They stayed in position. Watching. Waiting. Until the last alien ship disappeared into deep space. Only then, the darkness on Earth began to fade. Lights returned. Cities woke up. People moved again. Life continued. As if nothing had happened. But everything had changed. Deep underground, Dr. Carter finally sat down. The young man looked at her. It's over, he asked. She shook her head slowly. No. He looked confused. No. She looked at the screen one last time. It has just begun. Far away, in deep space, Commander Reth stood alone, watching the blue planet disappear. He spoke quietly. Not to his crew. Not to his system. To himself. We thought they were weak. A pause. That was our mistake. Back on Earth, a final message was recorded. Not sent. Not broadcast. Just saved. For the future. For anyone who might come again. One simple line. We surrendered. A pause. So you would feel safe. And this time, humanity was ready.